Autocephaly recognized universally de facto by some autocephalous churches, the Jew. Autocephaly recognized by Constantinople and 3 other autocephalous churches. The Serbian Orthodox Church is one of the autocephalous Eastern Orthodox Christian churches. The majority of the population in Serbia, Montenegro, and the Republika Srpska entity of Bosnia and Herzegovina are members of the Serbian Orthodox Church. It is organized into metropolitanates and eparchies, located primarily in Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, and Croatia. Other congregations are located in the Serb diaspora. The Serbian Patriarch serves as first among equals in his church. The current Patriarch is Porphyry, enthroned on February 19, 2021. The church achieved autocephalous status in 1219, under the leadership of Saint Sava, becoming the independent Archbishopric of Zika. Its status was elevated to that of a patriarchate in 1346, and was known afterwards as the Serbian Patriarchate of Pec. This patriarchate was abolished by the Ottoman Turks in 1766. Though several regional sections of the Serbian Orthodox Church continued to exist, most prominent among them being the Metropolitanate of Karlovci, in the Habsburg monarchy. After the recreation of Serbia, ecclesiastical autonomy was regained in 1831, and the autocephaly was renewed in 1879. The modern Serbian Orthodox Church was re-established in 1920, after the unification of the Metropolitanate of Belgrade, the Patriarchate of Karlovci, and the Metropolitanate of Montenegro. Christianity started to spread throughout the southeastern Europe during the 1st century. Early martyrs Florus and Laurus from the 2nd century, who were murdered along with other 300 Christians in Ulpiana near modern Liljan, are venerated as Christian saints. Bishop Irenaeus of Sirmium was also martyred. In 304, Emperor Constantine the Great, while several councils were held in Sirmium. In 395, the empire was divided, and its eastern half later became known as the Byzantine Empire. In 535, Emperor Justinian I created the Archbishopric of Justiniana Prima, centered in the emperor's birth city of Justiniana Prima, near modern Lebanon in Serbia. The archbishopric had ecclesiastical jurisdiction over all provinces of the Diocese of Dacia. By the beginning of the 7th century, Byzantine provincial and ecclesiastical order in the region was destroyed by invading Avars and Slavs. In 731, Emperor Leo III transferred the entire Illyricum to jurisdiction of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople, thus affirming its attachment to the Eastern Christianity. The history of the early medieval Serbian Principality is recorded in the work De Administrando Imperio, and Porphyrogenitus stressed that the Serbs had always been under imperial rule. According to De Administrando Imperio, the center from which the Serbs received their baptism was marked as Rome. His account on the first Christianization of the Serbs can be dated to 632 to 638. This might have been Porphyrogenitus' construction, or may have. It likely encompassed a limited group of chiefs, with lesser reception by the wider layers of the tribe. The establishment of Christianity as the state religion dates to the time of Prince Mutimir in Pannonia. Communications between Serbia and Great Moravia, where Methodius was active, must have been possible. The Pope must have been aware of this when planning Methodius' diocese and that of the Dalmatian coast, which was in Byzantine hands as far north as Split. Some Cyrillo-Methodian pupils may have reached Serbia in the 870s, perhaps sent by Methodius himself. Serbia was accounted Christian as of about 870. The first Serbian bishopric was founded at Ras, near modern Novi Pazar on the Aba River. According to Vlasto, the initial affiliation is uncertain. It may have been under the subordination of either Split or Durazzo, both then Byzantine. The early Ras church can be dated to the 9th-10th century, with the rotunda plan characteristic of first court chapels. The bishopric was established shortly after 871, during the rule of Mutimir, and was part of the general plan of establishing bishoprics in the Slav lands of the empire. confirmed by the Council of Constantinople in 879–880. The names of Serbian rulers through Mutimir are Slavic didymatic names, per the Old Slavic tradition. With Christianization in the 9th century, Christian names appear among the members of Serbian dynasties. Prince Peter Gojniković was evidently a Christian ruler, and Christianity presumably was spreading in his time. Since Serbia bordered Bulgaria, Christian influences and perhaps missionaries came from there, increasing during the 20-year peace. The Bulgarian annexation of Serbia in 924 was important for the future direction of the Serbian Church. By then, at the latest, Serbia must have received the Cyrillic alphabet and Slavic religious text, already familiar but perhaps not yet preferred to Greek, following his final subjugation of Th.